We're here at Purdue University at the home site for the Napoleon Hill Learning Center. And with us, we have J.B. Hill, Dr. Hill, Sharon Lechter, and the CEO of the Napoleon Hill Foundation, Don Green. We're going to be stepping inside to take a sneak peek at some incredible artifacts of Napoleon Hill. Come with us.
That looks like it's Napoleon Hill.
We have Dr. Hill, which is the grandson of the one and only Napoleon Hill. And I understand you got an incredible gift when you were 12 years old. Why don't you tell everyone what it was?
It was the first time I met Napoleon Hill, and he gave me a $10 bill. He gave me a copy of Think and Grow Rich and a little bit of advice.
And what was that advice?
Not to spend the $10 bill. And he told me that that bill represented the work that a working man did in 8 hours.
That's very powerful. And he said probably not to blow that on something frivolous, correct?
Well, he said, don't think before I spend it.
That's great. What'd you do with the money?
Spend it.
Don't we all?
My search led me to the study of the spiritual forces with which all of us are blessed. And it was in this field that I came upon a clue which has enabled me to help millions of people to find their earthly destiny.
Right. Okay, Don, over here, what do we got?
Greg, this is original manuscript of Laws and Sex done in 1928. That's the original manuscript.
Wait, this looks like it was typed or something.
It's typed, yeah, typed it on a Wilson Smith manual typewriter. Probably typed a few keys at a time. And that's a long book, actually.
No corrected type, no word processing. This is, if
so
you make a
like
mistake, this is an example, isn't it? This was the original.
That's the original, that's the original copy.
Oh, it's like the Holy Grail.
Fantastic. Here, everyone, put your hand on this thing. It's as good as it gets right there. I understand you've got a little bit of history you're standing in front of. What is all those magazines?
Now this magazine's success was started around the turn of the century by Orson Swett Martin, and Hill was he read his material, and then later Hill was actually became the editor of this magazine of the Success magazine.
Well, I want to look at the very first one. So this one was published in May of 1954. Let's see what Success Unlimited. Here's Napoleon Hill. And this is as important today as ever. Don't say impossible.
Oh, that's great.
Wow. You can buy Think and Grow Rich, some of the older versions of it on the internet, but it's hard to find something with the real cover, the original cover. Look at that, isn't that spectacular? He always liked to do things with a flair, something bold and bright that would stand out. That was a salesman.
He was a unique marketer. When in all of his books, if you get them, he put in the back of them. He says, "Send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll send you my an autographed book plate and an essay." And that's how he acquired his mailing list. That when he did something later, he could contact those people. It's kind of pretty unique.
It is true that whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you.
So I understand you have a pretty neat copy of Think and Grow Rich with you yourself. What edition is that?
This is a first edition. It's the third printing. It was published in 1937. Initially, it was printed in March, 5,000 copies. 3 months later, they did 10,000 copies, and 3 months later, they did another 10,000.
Wow. So that's in the first, what, 25, 30,000 copy version, and they sold, what, 100 million copies? So I guess that's pretty early.
This is a journal that Hill kept his royalties in the 30s when he did Think and Grow Rich. He was often getting $2,000 and $3,000 a month royalties.
Well, he was making some bucks. I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I mean, look at this. I mean, some of the money here isn't pocket change, is it?
I mean, the fact that you can sell a book for $2.50 during the Depression is quite remarkable in itself, and it be printed 3 times in the same year. It's quite remarkable, the hunger people had for the material he was putting out.
So Dr. Hill, you have 2 young children. What will you share with them about your grandfather?
I'll probably teach them that their legacy from him is the same legacy he left me and my father, which is his work.
Okay, this is like a whole treasure trove, as you can imagine. And in here is the actual birth certificate of Napoleon Hill. This is a father's occupation, who is a farmer, from James M. Hill. It has all the information. And that's special.
You know, you open the book and there are no accidents. So it says, the habit of indiscriminate spending, which is absolutely appropriate for what's happening in the world today. The spendthrift cannot succeed mainly because he stands eternally in fear of poverty. Form the habit of systematic saving by putting aside a definite percentage of your income. So true today as it was back then.
That goes with the pay the family first.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Pay your family first. It all starts at home. And if you can't take care of your family, you can't take care of the world.
You know what's amazing is everywhere you go, there's another version of Think and Grow Rich, Law of Success laying around. And what's fascinating to me is how they're all bookmarked or, you know, somehow listed of a message that meant something to someone. And I think all of us can agree that there's a quote, a message, a theory in here that really has resonated with our hearts.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.